Wish TV is proud to honor teachers in Central Indiana
She is an inspiration to all of us.
He's always smiling.
who go above and beyond,
He's done so many things for so many people.
He's inspirational.
making a difference,
He's always taught me to believe in myself and never get down on myself.
Everybody's biggest cheerleader.
and deserving of recognition for their outstanding efforts in
I
education.
love the people that I work with, and to know that I've made an impact on somebody's life, it is truly a great honor.
It's an honor. I love what I do, and the kids are the ones who make it work. I'm like just so taken aback because I love them so much. The fact that, they love me just as much just means a lot. Sorry, you're gonna have to cut that part out.
And you are our winner.
Oh, thank you so much.
From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Golden Apple Awards podcast.
Hey everyone, Hannah Mordeau here. The final Golden Apple Award winner of the school year is Miss Kourtney Liggett. Her students say she's a hero inside and outside the classroom because she literally is. She's an Army veteran from Speedway who uses Marvel movies to help motivate her kids in Wayne Township. So we went and surprised her with the Golden Apple Award. It comes with that trophy, a $500 school supply shopping spree to Teacher Treasures, and a video from her fellow staff and students. The surprise was so much fun. But we didn't really get to talk to her all that much. She did tell us about her commitment to a life of service. We wanted to learn more, so I brought her back here on the podcast. Hey, Miss Kourtney Liggett, thank you for being here on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
So your story aired yesterday. It's the last day of school for you right now, so I know it's probably been a little chaotic, but how are you feeling now that it's been out there? What's been the reaction?
It's been so great. It's been amazing. I've had so many teachers and students and also people who I was in the military with in the past reach out to me and just give me so much support and love. And it's been great. It's been overwhelming, but in a positive way.
Speaking of the military, it just worked out this way that it was Memorial Day, the day before your story aired. That wasn't on purpose, but kind of digging more into your military background, your story is a little bit unique going into the teaching field. Can you tell us a little bit more about it from your perspective? How did you get into it?
So when I was in the military, I worked my way up from a private first class, and then I became a sergeant. And as a sergeant and non-commissioned officer, your job is to lead soldiers. So I had that foundation of leading soldiers and just setting them up to become the future NCOs in the military. And I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. And I just figured how better of a way to translate those skills into the civilian world than to become a teacher. And so many people in my family are educators that it just made sense, and it worked out.
It really worked out. One of the other teachers who you had taught with last year, the second grade teacher, had said when she came in, she hit the ground running. You kind of just intuitively knew what you were doing. Do you think that a lot of that came from the military training?
Oh, of course. When you are in the military, you're trained to just react under any different type of circumstances. And I think with education, everything is changing. No matter what, at the drop of a dime, something can happen, or plans can change, and you just have to be able to roll with it. And because of the military, I feel like it makes it a lot easier for me to do that. Also, in the military, you're working with such a diverse group of people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds, from different cultural backgrounds. It's kind of like this melting pot of America. And I feel like schools are the same way. You just have, especially ours here at Chapelwood, we pride ourselves in how diverse and inclusive we are. And that's one of the reasons why I love this school so much. I love my kids so much, because as much as they get to experience me and my background in the military, I get to experience them and their cultures and everything that they bring to the table, which I love and enjoy.
Yeah, that's so special. I think something, though, that would be obviously different from when you were in the military are these are children. They're a lot younger, but it seems like maybe that has been a fun thing for you.
Oh, yes, definitely. In the military, a lot of my soldiers were young 18-year-old men or women, and it's different, but the skills and the foundations are all the same, and just I apply them so much differently than I would have in the military. But in the Army, we have the Army core values. So it's like loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, personal courage. All of those things can still be applied no matter if you're adult, child, school, military. And that's what I base everything pretty much off of in my life.
I remember in class you kind of did the military call with your fifth graders, and
Yeah.
they get really into it. Also notable, your love of Marvel seems to really relate with them. How do you get on their level, and how have you honed that in and made that something that's been a big success for you?
Well, I make the classroom not my classroom. It's our classroom. I found something that we have in common that we both like, and I ran with it. I love Marvel. My boyfriend also loves Marvel. So anything that comes out, my kids come in, they know, Miss Liggett, did you see? And I'm like, we've got to talk. We got to drop everything. We have to talk. Also with our writing units and things like that, if I take the same skills and just apply it to something that we saw on Captain America or Iron Man, the kids are so more excited to write about things and just to really dive into the lessons because it's over something that they have already been associated with and have been introduced with, and it's great. I love it.
Your kids were so excited when they came to talk to me about you. The amount of things that made them happy and smile when they were talking about you was amazing, including the Friday treats was a big thing. And you showed us the stickers. How have you found success with that? And for anyone that maybe isn't as familiar, didn't catch that part of the story, can you tell us what that is and how it's been so successful?
Yeah, so at our school, 5th and 6th grade actually rotate. So they don't just stay in my classroom. I am a writing and reading teacher. So they stay with me for those segments of the day, and then they rotate just like you would in high school or middle school. And that's just because Wayne Township really wants to set them up for success when we get them to the middle school level. So I see around 115 students every day. And there is a behavior expectation. And every time that a new class comes in, I'm looking for the model, like be the model. I'm looking for the model. And I pick who is the shout out or the model of the day. And those students, sometimes it's more than one. A lot of times it's more than one. They will receive a sticker. And I actually take votes on what types of stickers do I get. We have tons of anime and Marvel lovers. So it really motivates them because they display them on their folders, on their Chromebooks, and the more stickers they have, then people will realize, wow, they've really done well. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the sticker aspect of it. Friday treat is specifically for my homeroom. So as they rotate, they get a score for behavior and following procedures out of 5. That gives them the possibility of getting 25 points each day. If they average 20 points a day, so I give them some leeway, 20 points out of the 25 for the week, they earn their Friday treat. And we vote on what we like for a Friday treat. Some days we have cookies or we have Takis. We've had ice cream sandwiches. And it's just almost like their paycheck. Like if you're working and you're waiting for that Friday, or even if it's not a paycheck, or it's like, oh, Friday, I get to go out to eat. That's what it is for them. So they, even if they have a bad day, say one day they get a 17, they can recover because it's an average. So I say, hey, we can have bad days. That doesn't make us a bad person. It's how we recover from that. So I think giving them that leeway and also that ability to bounce back, the resiliency, keep going, really helps in motivating them and just trying to do their personal best.
I think that's such a great lesson. I don't have kids quite in elementary age. I have a 4-year-old though. And we started doing, you can earn a book at bedtime. You can earn up to 4 books by, doing X, Y, and Z. And it really does make a difference, that motivation that you can do something to earn something, and your good attitude and work pays off. And so I think that's a wonderful way of honing that in. You also said be the model. That was something we talked a lot about in the story. And I only knew about that because one of your students told me. So where did that come from, and how do you convey that to your kids every day?
Yeah, so in the Army, they always told us that you're a soldier 24/7. You're not a soldier just when you're in the office. You're not a soldier just when you're at war. You're always a soldier. If you're at the grocery store, if you're at home, you're a soldier. You are the model of what a soldier is supposed to be. And that just stuck with me because I always wanted everyone. I've always strived for perfection in whatever I've done, and just having that in the back of my mind, as everyone is always going to know me as this soldier, so I have to portray myself as that. I think students, that resonates with them too, because it's something that even when they go home, I've had students come up to me and they say, "Oh, I was really mad, Miss Liggett, but then I remember I got to be the model. I got to be the model." And it just makes me so proud of them because it's this self-regulation inside of them that helps push them to do the right thing and helps push them to want to be the person, that the leader, the one that everyone looks at. And that's pretty much where it came from. I also, when I was a student teacher, I had a great mentor teacher. He said things similar to that, as people are looking at you. It was in fourth grade at that time. You need to be the one to set the example for the younger kids. And that just kind of pushed it even further for me to keep on pushing, be the model.
I just love that because I love that it was your students that told me about it, because it's clearly something they are listening to and taking in. And what a great message, I mean, for life that they'll take on beyond just your classroom. We touched on a little bit in the end of the story that your grandmother was in Wayne Township. You have a lot of history in the area. Why is it so important for you to keep serving your community?
I am a sixth generation Speedway resident. Yeah, so my whole family has grown up on the west side of Indianapolis. I've always I've loved being from Speedway, and I also just Indy in general. And I've lived in multiple places, and it's just Indiana is home for me. And just the west side of Indianapolis, that's where my family is. That's where all my sister's kids go to school, and my cousin's kids go. One of my cousin's sons even goes to this school that I teach at. So just seeing faces that I see at the grocery store, I've seen so many of my students at the bowling alley or shopping, and it just makes me happy because they know that, hey, Miss Liggett, she does the same stuff I do, or she's not just this foreign entity that is detached from my universe. Like, she's here. Mm-hmm. And I love that because I always want to be familiar. I want my kids to be familiar with me and to know that I'm out here doing the same things as them. And I want the best for them for a reason. I'm not just saying things to say it. Mm-hmm. Like, I want them to see that I'm saying things because I mean it, and I'm here and they can see me here. I want to be that person present for them. And I just think being part of a school community like Wayne Township that really pushes for children, focusing on the whole child and focusing on all the things that they bring to the table, it's just something that I'm very passionate about. So I think Wayne Township and it just was meant to be. And like I said, my grandma, 30 years, she taught at Chapel Glen. She was a kindergarten teacher. I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I can't do kindergarten. I understand that. But fifth grade, it's my sweet spot. I absolutely love it.
Oh, well, I can tell that you were kind of born and meant to be in it. And another thing that I thought was really neat that we didn't even touch on, but how I got a lot of the photos of the Friday treats or your relationship with the kids is you're very active on your Twitter with these students, putting it out there in the community, like what you guys are doing and showing that friendship and relationship that you have with them. Why is that so important?
I want parents and students to be able to see what's going on in this classroom. And I think that having a platform that is accessible to all of them, that they know how to use. Like, we have a school platforms, like we have Parent Square, but a lot of that is confusing for a lot of people at first, especially when you're thinking about students who come from multilingual backgrounds, things like that. But something as common as Twitter that they have familiarity with, it just makes it so much more accessible to them. And that's my thinking of it. Also, our whole district is very active on Twitter, so it gives a good platform too for my students. As soon as like Dr. Butts, if he retweets anything, I say, "Oh my goodness, you guys are famous," and they all are just like over the moon. Like they're so excited that the superintendent saw their writing, and it just motivates them. So yeah.
That makes total sense. My kids have an app and it's hard to use from the classroom. Twitter would probably be easier just to see it on there. That makes a ton of sense. Okay, so your kids had that reaction when the superintendent retweets them. What was their reaction to the story yesterday?
Well, we actually had to watch it twice because the first time the screaming of, "I'm on TV!" So every time each of them saw themselves, it was just wild. But then the second time it was so heartwarming. They were so like beyond themselves. Whenever other students walked past in different grades, they'd say, "We saw you guys on TV." And all my kids were just like, they felt like, even today they go, "Miss Liggett, are you a celebrity?" And I say, "No, I'm not. I'm just a teacher, you know." But to them, it was just like this monumental thing, and it makes me so happy because I just feel like this is something that they'll remember always, and they were a part of it. And I keep telling them, it's not just me, it's you guys. Look at you guys and look at what you've done. These are shots of your room, of your work, and of what you have accomplished. And I think too, being the May winner, it's almost a full circle moment because we're at the end of the year, and it's just like they see this video, this montage of all their accomplishments, and it just is really, it's great. I love it. It makes me so happy to just see the joy in their eyes.
There was so much information that I just got from them that I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known the Marvel. I wouldn't have known the treats. I wouldn't have known Be the Model. I mean, they really were who told that story. So you did a great job. You can let them know that if they didn't know.
I will. Miss Helen, she was just over the moon that she saw herself on there.
She was so sweet. And then she filled me in on all. She's like, "We get brownies and we get all these things." So
afterwards, she said, "I might want that job." I said, "You would be great."
She could do it. She was great at it. Well, I love to hear that. And you being the May winner was kind of fitting with the whole like Speedway, and then you being a veteran and Memorial Day and everything like that just worked out that way. We didn't plan it. But something I did think of is you are relatively new to teaching to already have accomplished so much and be so recognized by your own district. What drives your passion, especially at a time when we really are in need of teachers? We're seeing a lot of teachers leave. We have a shortage. It's hard. It's a hard job. What drives your passion, and how do you think you could maybe inspire other teachers to join the career, other people? Or if you are a teacher and you're maybe feeling down, like what would you want them to know?
Well, for me, I've been a child who didn't have that person before. And I feel like internally, I want that any child to have a person that they look to and just knows that they are safe, or that they have somebody who's always going to show up for them, that's going to do their best. And I just think, like I said before, about community service and about being a public servant, it's really important to me because I'm very passionate about where I live. Like I said, I'm like a 6th generation from Speedway and west side of Indy. And it's just so important to me to make sure that these children have somebody and that they can become that next generation that comes into the classrooms and takes care of our community. I love being from here. I love this district, and the students are what drive me. I just think for people who I think after COVID too, there was kind of a damper on education. It kind of made it seem like, oh, anybody could teach, or a computer can teach. But the relationships and the love that your students feel in a classroom is so much different when you have someone who is behind the wheel that not only wants to teach them the curriculum, but the skills of life, the passion of learning, and just the love of being in an environment with different people from different backgrounds, just from different places, all enjoying learning about the same thing. I think that's what makes the difference. You have to be a person who's willing to roll with the punches, who's not going to just snap the judgments, who can reflect on what you've done and what mistakes maybe you've made and really build off of that. I think that's important. If you are a teacher, you need to be someone who's willing to reflect, change, and also just to be very empathetic and loving. That's all these kids really want at the end of the day, is just someone to listen to them and someone to acknowledge them and praise them for what they've done, even if it's just a small thing. That small thing could be a big, huge thing to that child.
A little love can really go a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
When it comes to parents or just other people in the community, how can they help teachers and other people in education?
I think it also comes down to, like I said, be the model for your children, and also hold them accountable for those values that are being instilled in them. I know even with my nephews, I'm always like, oh, well, but then I catch myself and I'm like, no, you know what we're supposed to be doing, and this is how we're supposed to be doing it. So I think just holding them accountable for the standards and the values and the morals that you've instilled in them, and also just believing in the system of your support system of teachers, and showing up for whatever events and things that your child has. I know parents are so busy, you can't come to everything, and that's okay. I get it. But even just, I've had parents, I have wonderful parents this year, and even if they can't come, they send me a message that says, hey, how'd they do? And I instantly go over and say, look, your mom wants to know about it. So even just something like that, just being present in any possible way, if it's a note, if it's a text, because as soon as I get those things, I show them and I display them. I let everyone know, and my kids, just a text or something small even makes a whole lot of difference. So that's what I think.
Since doing this and meeting so many great teachers through Golden Apple, it is amazing to me that I think what really sticks out is every single one of you guys who are such stellar teachers build those relationships with the kids, have a respect for the kids, no matter what age, and really treat them as like a whole person. I've learned so much from all of you guys, and I know there's great things ahead for you. Really quick before we go, what are you hoping the future holds when it comes to your career?
I love being in the classroom. I don't see myself anywhere else. It's so funny because in the military, I'd have so many officers say, oh, you should go green to gold. You should be an officer. You go to that next level. And I'd say, no, I got to stay with my soldiers. And that's how I feel. I want to stay with my students. I want to be down in the trenches with them and, leading the way. So, I see myself I love fifth grade. I would move if they asked me to, but I do love fifth grade, especially being a writing teacher. But I just see myself staying in Wayne Township and just continuing on with my passion, and hopefully staying here until until I retire. But I absolutely love it. I don't see myself ever changing and doing anything different. I feel like this is where I was meant to be.
Well, I certainly think you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Wayne Township is so lucky to have you. And thank you for taking the time to let us surprise you and then to have this conversation. You really are a model for all of us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you once again.
Miss Liggett is so passionate about what she does. She's truly an inspiration to all of us, and I cannot wait to see what is next for her in her life of service. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. We're going to continue honoring teachers in Central Indiana who go above and beyond to make a difference in children's lives. And while it's the end of the school year, we're not done yet. This week, we're bringing all 9 teachers for the class of 2023 back together for the Golden Apple Special. It's a live show this Wednesday, June 14th at 6:30 p.m. right here on Wish TV. We'll revisit with all of our teachers live, talking to them, and then crown the grand finale winners. So stick with us. You will not want to miss it. And then we'll have a recap here on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The Wish TV Golden Apple Awards podcast. Nominate a teacher and learn more at wishtv.com now. Be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast and discover even more great podcasts now on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.